There's a kind of power in silence, a strength, a knowing. But most of us, we fill the quiet with noise because silence makes us uncomfortable, because we think if we're not saying something, we're missing something. But here's the truth. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is say nothing at all. We've all been there. That moment when anger rises like a wildfire inside you, hot, uncontrollable, and ready to burn everything in its path. Your pulse quickens, your hands clench, and every fiber of your being is screaming to say something, anything, to release the frustration boiling inside. And in that split second, it feels like speaking will give you power, like your words will set things right, make you feel better, prove your point. But here's the truth. The words you speak in anger are the words you will most likely regret. Think back to a time when you were furious, a time when you let your emotions take the driver's seat and words came rushing out before you could stop them. Maybe it was with a partner, a friend, a coworker, or even a stranger. And now, with time and distance, you can see it clearly. Those words didn't fix anything. They didn't solve the problem. More often than not, they made it worse. They built walls instead of bridges. Anger is powerful. It has the ability to turn rational people into reckless ones. It can make you say things you don't even mean, things that cut deep, things that can't be taken back. And the worst part, once those words leave your mouth, they stop being just words. They become wounds. But silence? Silence is strength. It's the pause that stops destruction before it starts. It's the deep breath before saying something you'll wish you hadn't. It's the space that allows you to cool down, to gain perspective, to ask yourself, is what I'm about to say true? Is it necessary? Is it kind? If the answer is no, then silence is your best option. That doesn't mean you ignore your feelings. It doesn't mean you suppress your emotions or let people walk all over you. It means you give yourself time. Time to process, time to reflect, time to respond instead of react. Because there's a world of difference between the two. Reacting is instinctual, responding is intentional. When you react in anger, you hand over your power, you let the moment control you. But when you stay silent, just for a beat, you regain control. You step back, you allow yourself to think, to breathe, to choose words that heal instead of harm. And here's the thing, no one has ever looked back and said, I really regret staying silent when I was angry. But people regret the words they spoke in anger every single day. So the next time rage starts to rise inside you, remember this. Silence is not weakness. Silence is wisdom. It's the difference between a moment of anger and a lifetime of regret. Have you ever jumped to a conclusion only to find out later that you were completely wrong? Maybe you assumed someone was ignoring your messages when in reality their phone had died. Maybe you thought a coworker was trying to sabotage you when they were actually dealing with personal struggles. Or maybe you spread a story you heard only to realize later that it wasn't true at all. We've all been there. It's human nature to fill in the blanks when we don't have all the information. Our brains hate uncertainty, so we create stories to make sense of what we see. But here's the problem. When we speak without knowing the full picture, we risk being wrong, and sometimes being wrong can cause real harm to others, to relationships, and even to our own credibility. The danger of half-truth speaking without having all the facts is like trying to complete a puzzle with missing pieces. You might guess where things go, but if you force the wrong piece into the wrong place, the whole picture becomes distorted. Imagine this, you walk into a room and see two people whispering. They suddenly stop talking when they notice you. Your mind races. Are they talking about me? Are they hiding something? Before you even confirm the truth, you might feel betrayed or defensive. Maybe you confront them. Maybe you even tell someone else about what you think is happening. But what if they weren't talking about you at all? What if they were planning a surprise for you? What if they were discussing something private that had nothing to do with you? This is how misunderstandings grow. This is how unnecessary conflicts start, because we assume, we react, and we speak before we know the full truth. Silence creates space for truth. When you don't have all the facts, silence isn't ignorance, it's wisdom. It gives you time to observe, to ask questions, to seek clarity before forming an opinion or making a judgment. It protects you from spreading false information, from hurting someone unfairly, from damaging your own reputation by speaking on things you don't fully understand. Think about the people you respect the most. Are they the ones who jump to conclusions and speak impulsively? Or are they the ones who listen, ask the right questions, and wait until they have the whole story before giving their opinion? Pause before you speak. The next time you find yourself tempted to speak on something you don't fully understand, stop. Ask yourself, do I have the full story? Have I heard both sides? Could there be another explanation I haven't considered? If the answer isn't clear, silence is your best choice. Seek understanding first. Because once words are spoken, they can't be taken back, and the damage done by assumptions can last far longer than the moment it took to say them. In a world that rewards quick opinions and instant reactions, be the person who values truth over speed. Be the person who listens before they speak. Because the wisest people aren't always the ones who say the most, they're the ones who know when to say nothing at all. There's something deeply human about the need to be heard, to sit across from someone, lay your heart bare, and know that they are listening, not to fix, not to judge, but simply to be there. But here's the problem. Most of us don't listen to understand. We listen to reply. We hear someone venting, and we immediately feel the urge to jump in with advice, with solutions, with a quick, I know exactly how you feel story. We want to help, so we start talking. But sometimes the most powerful thing you can do for someone who is venting is to say nothing at all. Why silence is the best support. Imagine this. A friend comes to you completely overwhelmed. Maybe they're stressed about work, heartbroken over a breakup, or struggling with a personal decision. Their words are tumbling out in a rush, their emotions raw and unfiltered, and then before they even finish their sentence, you interrupt with, "You know what you should do? I've been through the exact same thing, and here's what helped me. It's not that bad, just think positive." It comes from a good place. You want to make them feel better, but in that moment, your words do the opposite, because venting isn't about solutions. It's about release. It's about trust. It's about knowing that for a moment, someone else is carrying a piece of your burden with you. The difference between listening and fixing, there's a difference between listening and fixing. Fixing is about you, about your knowledge, your experiences, your desire to help. But listening, that's about them. True listening is an act of selflessness. It's resisting the urge to shift the focus to yourself. It's being okay with the discomfort of silence. It's understanding that sometimes people don't need a solution, they just need a witness to their pain. Think about a time when you were struggling and just needed to talk. How did it feel when someone cut you off with advice you didn't ask for? Frustrating, right? Because in that moment, you weren't looking for answers, you were looking for connection, how to be a better listener. So what should you do when someone is venting to you? Resist the urge to interrupt. Let them finish their thoughts before saying anything. Sometimes just speaking their worries out loud helps them process things on their own. Use body language to show you're present. Nod, maintain eye contact, lean in slightly, show them without words that you're fully there. Validate their feelings. Instead of offering solutions, say things like, "That sounds really difficult. I can see why you feel that way. I'm so sorry you're dealing with this. Ask, do you want advice or just someone to listen?" This simple question can completely shift the dynamic. Some people do want advice, but many just want to be heard. Embrace silence. Don't rush to fill every pause with words. Let them sit in their emotions. Let them feel safe enough to share more if they need to. The healing power of being heard. At the end of the day, people don't always remember what you said to them, but they always remember how you made them feel. So the next time someone is venting to you, don't rush to fix it. Don't rush to make it about you. Just be there, just listen, because sometimes silence is the most comforting sound in the world. When your words could hurt someone, the weight of what we say, words are powerful. They can build people up, inspire change, and heal wounds. But they can also tear down, shatter confidence, and leave scars that never fully fade. We've all experienced it. Words spoken in a moment of frustration, sarcasm, or carelessness that left someone hurting. And maybe, just maybe, we've been on the receiving end too. We've felt the sting of someone else's words cutting deeper than they ever intended. The truth is, once words are spoken, they can never be taken back. So before we speak, we have to ask ourselves, is what I'm about to say necessary? Is it kind? Is it true? If the answer is no, silence is often the better choice. The invisible wounds of words, physical wounds heal. A cut fades, a bruise disappears, but words have a way of staying with us. Think about the meanest thing someone has ever said to you. Maybe it was years ago, maybe it was in childhood, but chances are you still remember it. That's because words don't just enter our ears, they sink into our hearts. They shape the way we see ourselves, the way we move through the world, the way we trust or don't trust others. Now think about the kindest thing someone has ever said to you. That one compliment, that one encouraging phrase, that one moment of kindness that changed the way you saw yourself. Words have that power too. Which version of yourself do you want to be? The one whose words heal or the one whose words harm? The regret of words spoken in anger. One of the most dangerous times to speak is when emotions are running high. When we're angry, we're not thinking clearly. We're thinking in heat, in defense, in attack mode, and that's when words slip out that we don't mean. Words that hurt, words that cause damage we can't undo. How many relationships have been broken because of one cruel sentence? How many friendships have been ruined because of one moment of thoughtlessness? How many people carry the weight of a single phrase said to them in frustration? We all know the regret of saying something we wish we could take back, but we never regret the moments we chose to stay silent instead. Not everything needs to be said. Some truths don't need to be spoken. Some thoughts don't need to be shared. Being honest is important, but honesty without kindness is just cruelty in disguise. Before speaking, ask yourself, does this need to be said? Some things are better left unsaid. If what you're about to say won't help encourage or improve the situation, is it really necessary? Does this need to be said by me? Sometimes it's not our place. Not every battle needs our voice. Not every mistake needs our comment. Does this need to be said right now? Even the right word said at the wrong time can cause harm. If emotions are running high, waiting can be the wisest choice. The power of choosing kindness. It's easy to say whatever comes to mind. It's easy to be sarcastic, to be critical, to make jokes at someone else's expense. But choosing kindness takes strength. Choosing silence when speaking would cause harm takes self-control. Because at the end of the day, people won't remember every word you say, but they will always remember how your words made them feel. So when you have the choice to speak or to stay silent, and your words could cause hurt, pause. Breathe. Choose kindness, because words once spoken can never be unsaid. When you're about to brag, True confidence doesn't need a microphone. We all want to be seen. We want to be recognized for our hard work, appreciated for our achievements, and acknowledged for what we bring to the table. It's natural. We crave validation. But there's a fine line between sharing our success and bragging, and crossing that line can do more harm than good. Bragging doesn't make people admire us, it makes them pull away. Because when someone constantly talks about their achievements, their wealth, their success, it doesn't inspire connection, it creates distance. It makes people feel less than instead of lifting them up. So before you boast about what you've done, what you have, or how great you are, pause. Ask yourself, why do I feel the need to say this? Because true confidence doesn't shout, it just is. The subtle art of humble confidence. Have you ever met someone who was truly great at what they do, but never felt the need to announce it? They didn't walk into a room and list their accomplishments. They didn't interrupt conversations just to remind everyone how successful they are. And yet, people respected them. People wanted to be around them. Why? Because confidence is quiet. It doesn't need validation from others. It doesn't need to be announced. It just shows up in how you carry yourself, how you treat people, and how you move through the world. Now think of the opposite. The person who always finds a way to turn the conversation back to themselves. The one who can't wait to drop their latest success into a casual conversation. The one who isn't listening because they're just waiting for their turn to talk about themselves. It's exhausting, right? Instead of making them more likable, it makes them less so. Why do we brag? Bragging often comes from insecurity, not confidence. It's a way of saying, look at me, validate me, approve of me. It's a shield we use when we don't feel enough on our own. But here's the truth. The people who matter, the ones who truly see you, don't need you to prove anything. They already know your worth. And the people who are only impressed by bragging, their approval isn't worth chasing. When to share and when to stay silent. Does this mean you should never talk about your successes? Of course not. You should be proud of what you've achieved. The key is knowing how and when to share. Before you speak, ask yourself, am I sharing or am I showing off? Sharing comes from excitement, from a place of gratitude. Bragging comes from a need to impress. The difference is in the intent. Is this the right moment? Are you talking to someone who just lost their job about your big promotion? Are you bragging about your new house to someone struggling to pay rent? Timing matters. Who benefits from me saying this? Is your story meant to inspire or connect, or is it just to make yourself look good? If it's only serving your ego, it might be better left unsaid. Let your success speak for itself. The most powerful people in the world don't walk into a room and announce how powerful they are. The smartest people don't go around telling everyone how intelligent they are. The kindest people don't remind you of all their good deeds. Their actions speak for them. And that's the key. When you're truly great at something, you don't have to brag. People will notice. So the next time you feel the urge to boast, stop, take a breath, let your success be seen, not spoken. Because the loudest person in the room isn't always the most impressive. The one who doesn't need to prove anything is. Silence isn't weakness. It isn't avoidance. It isn't a lack of words. Silence is power. It's wisdom. It's knowing when your words will build and when they will break. In life, there will be moments when the urge to speak is strong, when anger burns, when assumptions form, when validation tempts you to boast. But the strongest people aren't the ones who always have something to say. They're the ones who know when to stay quiet, because Silence in the right moments isn't empty. It's full of self-restraint, understanding, and patience. It gives you space to think before you act, to listen before you respond, to choose kindness over harm. So the next time you stand at the crossroads of speaking or staying silent, ask yourself, will my words add value? Will they bring peace, wisdom, or healing, or will they do more harm than good? And if the answer is unclear, pause, breathe, let silence be your strength. Because in a world that talks too much, sometimes the most powerful thing you can say is nothing at all.